Okay, welcome back to the show. Let's talk now about the Esports Max World Ultra Street Fighter 4 player rankings.
Yes.
We've both been asked to participate in that to give our top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just like we did previously when it was only Americans.
Right.
This is different. It's all around the world.
Yeah, so they've been doing this for 2 months now. So
Yeah.
they do this every month. And there was the first month, and then you got invited to the second month, and we talked about our top 10 then. And so this month, it's going to be not just USA, it is the world.
Right. Which is very different, of course.
Which is very, very different.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it was really hard. I
It
had a
was
really
hard.
hard time doing this one.
It was.
But we do have our top 10s, and we just kind of want to talk about why we picked them and
Okay.
such. So, yeah. So
Do you want to start from the top? Or I don't remember how we did this last time.
last time we started from the top, I believe, and then
Okay.
we went down. Do you want to do it backwards?
You want to do backwards? Yeah,
You wanna do
sure.
backwards?
Sure.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Okay, well, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Let's see here. So, who do I have?
I'll go first.
I'll pull out my list. Sorry. Go ahead. Go for it.
My number 10 is Nemo.
Nemo. Okay.
For me, it was between Nemo and Fudo. So just to put this out there, I did my rankings based on how I feel results have been, not necessarily on how I feel how talented players are.
Okay.
Like I feel like those are two different things. If a
Okay.
player is extremely talented but doesn't get results, then I don't feel like I can have him up there. And I kind of feel like that's the case with Nemo and Fudo. They had good results, but they didn't do that much. Okay, I think Fudo was like he went to Evo and there was like one more thing.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other players on my list are like they went to like 10 events. They like you know there are only a few players on my list who didn't do that, who I've still put on because I think that they're so good, and Nemo's one of them.
Yeah. Nemo actually didn't end up on my list, but I had basically 1 through 9 for me. I could easily pick, and then the 10th person I had really trouble picking, and I had at least 6 or 7 different people. So like Momochi almost made it. The spoilers for who's not in my top 10, you know, Ricky Ortiz didn't quite make it in there and stuff like that. Nemo was one of the people that I was really considering putting in there. The person that I ended up putting in there was actually Ryan Hart.
In 10th.
In 10th spot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have him at 10th spot. Mostly, I didn't want to put him higher than that because I know since Ultra dropped, he's been frustrated at Sagat.
He hasn't won any. He hasn't won any major tournaments.
Yeah, he hasn't won any major tournaments, but the biggest problem with that is most of the time he loses to Luffy.
Right.
Who, guess what, is somewhere in the top 10
Right.
of that list, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just an unfortunate situation, right? That's just one of those, like going back to basketball analogies, like Karl Malone, like getting
That's the big one.
like beaten up by Jordan for 2 years in a row,
The
right?
Jazz
It's
don't
like,
win anything because
it's
sorry, the
Jordan's.
Bulls.
Yeah, sorry, you're playing with Jordan. But so I mean, obviously Ryan Hart's really good and stuff like that. So that's why he beat out all the other people that I didn't quite get into the top 10. But for sure, he's one of the greatest players out there right now. And not only that, but before Ultra came out, he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
If you remember, he was winning everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the first qualifier. He won final round and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know. So, yeah, Ryan Hart's my number 10.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
My number 9 is Gamer B.
Okay.
Gamer B I put here because he hasn't. So he won one thing and he's gotten second a few times. I feel like that is a good record, but I know he's disappointed with it. Okay, I know he's not where he wants to be.
Yeah.
Despite traveling a lot, he only managed to win once. You know, for everybody else, look, getting first and then a bunch of seconds and thirds would be like awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's quite enough to like move him higher than that. Higher than 9th. I mean, he's top 10 in the world. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me, Gamer B, he's just one of those players who's super consistent. He does so well at every single event, and right now, the only thing that I feel like is hurting him is his confidence right now, and I feel like, especially you saw it at CPT Asia.
Yeah.
You know, he was messing around with Elena and all these different characters. Yeah. I know he really hates the Akuma 8-on match, and so he gets really, you know, he beats himself up kind of in those situations. But he's a great player. definitely top 10 in the world. He's my number 9 as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So we have him in the exact same spot.
I mean, I didn't have him in the top 10 at first. And I don't know, I guess I needed to put him in there. But I do feel like part of why he's not done that great is the character situation. You know, Adon is... I feel like he's not quite as good as he was before.
Right.
He's pretty good, but he's not as good as he was. And now he's picking up Elena. I just don't think that it hasn't worked out.
Right.
More concretely, other than what I think, it hasn't worked out. So, I don't know, but certainly he could get back there, higher up.
I mean, look, he's been consistent for a bunch of years. I know a lot of people in the chat right now are trying to give him like a little bit of flack. You know, he's not that good, or dude. The guy is really good.
He's always a major threat. I mean,
and he's always placing high all the time. And maybe there's a little bias because both of us love GamerB to death, but you know...
I tried to stay away from that, but
I know.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, my number 8 is Sako.
Okay.
So Sako is up here because I think that if this was a list on talent, he would have been higher than that. Okay? I have a ton of respect for Sako. I think he is so good. That said... He's been to Evo, where he did great, top 8. Other than that, all he's done is the Topanga League. Did great. Super well. So, but only having done 2 things, I just didn't feel like I could put him higher. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like his results have been up to where his talent is.
Yeah. So I mean, my rankings are a little bit more on I feel like their potential. Like if all these guys showed up in a tournament, who would I be scared of?
That's how you did it? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how I did it. Okay. So even if they hadn't been into a lot of events, I still put them up there pretty high.
Okay.
My number 8, I'm going to get a bunch of people yelling at me about this one. They're going to be so mad at me. My number 8 is Daigo.
Daigo is number 8?
Daigo is number 8 right now. And the main reason why I put Daigo so low, number 8 out of the planet, is mostly because of his transition to Evil Ryu. I have been very underwhelmed with his Evil Ryu play until CPT Asia Finals.
Okay.
Where he stopped using all the crazy combos and just played him like a buffer version of Ryu, basically. But to me, I still think, like, I don't know, like, I don't feel as scared of him for some strange reason. Because in a tournament, like, he tends to lose to random people a lot more than a lot of these other guys. Yes, if he has prep time, so, like, let me put it this way. At Capcom Cup, he's going to body a bunch of people, right? But then at all these random tournaments, he loses to a Viper.
Okay,
he loses to Dhalsim. He loses to this guy, that guy.
Okay.
So I feel, and this also really comes down to the fact, it's like talking about Pixar films, right? A bad Pixar film is still like a fantastic movie, right?
Okay.
So I'm a little hard on Daigo right now.
Okay.
Obviously. Because I just feel like he's not performing like he used to, and I really, really want to see him prove me wrong. Like, I almost kind of like feel like I'm doing this just so he can be like, you know, like, no, I'll show you how 8th place I am, and just destroy everybody.
Yeah,
I want him to prove me wrong, basically. So so Daigo's my number 8.
Man, all right. Yeah, like I said, I wish I could put Sako higher, but if he had gone to more things, it's just, I understand he has family obligations, which is a great reason.
Of course.
So number 7 for me is Snake Eyes. I have Snake Eyes at 7.
That low.
Yeah, I know. Look, I want to have him higher. Because again, it's the same situation as with Sako. Basically, like, he and Sako are in my top 10 because I feel like they're ridiculously talented. Because if it was a talent list, they would be like right up at the top. But his results, I mean, he hasn't traveled enough.
Yeah.
Like he won the most recent big major in North America.
Right.
Okay. Other than that, he basically plays at Wednesday nights. When Wednesday night fights is the hardest weekly tournament in the world. It's not just in the country. It's which is very impressive. But I feel like he would have had to do more. It's about results, man. That's what my list is about. That's it.
Sure,
that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
it kind of hurts me.
I'll get to Snake Eyes later. Okay. My number 7 is Sako. So it's kind of in the same position, right? Okay. So Sako, But I mean, there's just something about Sako that just when he plays, like he just looks so calm, and he's just like botting you with Elena, whatever, you know. I mean, I can't believe he was almost perfect. He almost had a perfect record in Topanga B League.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
If it wasn't for Topanga B League, Sako might not even have been in my top 10, to be honest with you. Well, actually, that's not even true. At one point in time, I considered putting Sako higher just because Sako is ridiculous, right? I mean, Sako is crazy. But, again, he just hasn't played enough. He hasn't played as much.
That's all.
So I don't know quite. And he's using Elena. Which I feel like is a character that can be exposed.
I agree with that, but the fact that he used Elena and Nemo Rolento, that like made me additionally want to put them in top 10 because I just feel like that's so good.
Yeah, for sure.
To do those things with those characters is just kind of remarkable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was why it hurt me not to put Nemo up there, but just Nemo, like, I don't even know if he takes the game that seriously. I know even Daigo said he was better than him at the time and stuff like that, but I just don't know how seriously he takes it. Because, like, has he played in a lot of the recent events and stuff like that? You know, where was he in, like, all the CPT Asias? How come he didn't qualify? You know, all these things like that. So, that kind of hurt him in my book, so.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, my number 6 is Ryan Hart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have Ryan Hart really high. Yeah. He has been to more Ultra tournaments than anybody else.
Yes.
He's been to 11. And he hasn't won any of them, okay? But he has gotten top 8 at 8 of them, second place at 5 of them. That is really, really consistent.
Yeah, and all those second places are against Luffy.
Right, yeah, and a lot of them are against the guy who won Evo.
Right.
So I feel like that record is really, really impressive. To go to 11 things and to be that consistent at 11 things, it's not like he's going to, like, you know, podunk tournament. He's going to, like, major stuff. So I feel like that has to be recognized.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so my number 6 is Fudo.
Okay, yeah.
So I actually put Fudo way up there because...
I mean, dude, again, on talent, I would have had him top 5.
Yeah, for sure. And Fudo, I mean, if he had beat Bonchan, he was winning Evo. I 100% believe that. If he beat Bonchan, I think he would have beat Luffy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he would have beat Luffy. So, I mean, he won Evo in 2012, right? Was it 2012? Yeah, it was 2012 because Shin was 2013. So, Fudo won 2012. Dude, that guy is so ridiculously consistent. And
his ground game is the best.
Yeah, the only thing going against Fudo is... Obviously, he doesn't travel as much, and he hasn't played as much.
That's why I didn't put him top 10, that's all.
But seriously, like, I just can't even picture him. Like, he is so consistent, and to be honest with you, despite the fact that he is just, like, the most, like, he is, like, the cutest looking, like, nice guy ever, but that guy terrifies me. Like, he scares me. Yeah, every time I see him, I just feel like, you know, he's one of the scariest players to fight against.
By the way, he won 2011. Everybody's reminded.
Oh, 2011?
2012 was Infil.
Oh, Infiltration, of course. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of Infiltration, he's my 5th place.
Okay.
5th place. So he got 25th at Evo. Other than that, he has been to 6 events, and guess what place he got at all 6?
I saw. Yes.
First place.
Yeah.
At all 6. Okay. I mean, what can you say about that? Like. It's pretty tough to get any better than that. It really is. Yeah. I think a couple people did it, which is why he's at 5th. But that's pretty tough.
Yeah. Infiltration. At 5th, I actually have Xian.
Okay.
So Xian, main reason why he's not higher than that, despite the fact that he had a great 2013, he's still really good this year, and we just saw this in all these Asia events. He bodied a lot of people and stuff like that. And the only person he lost to was Daigo at CPT Asia Grand Finals. I just feel like he's struggled a little bit with the get nerfs. I feel like. So that's made him a little bit weaker. And then just like some of the like when he went up against Snake Eyes at the Fall Classic, like you could see that he was broken and it was kind of hard to watch in a way, you know what I mean? So it was sad for me to see. To be honest with you, I was struggling between 5th and 4th place for him, but I mean, it'll be pretty obvious why I have him in 4th.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, why I have him in 5th place. So, anyways, go ahead.
Well, my 4th place is Shen.
Okay.
As of like right now. Again, the results are really strong. He's been to a ton of events.
Yeah.
He's won a couple of them, and other than that, let's see. He's gotten top 8 at all of them, 6 top 3 finishes, 17th at Evo, but he was the only person to beat Luffy that whole time, and one of 2 people in Ultra Street Fighter 4 majors so far who have beaten Luffy anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, again, like, since this is about results, him having beaten Luffy and having, you know, attended more events and been so consistent.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Well, my 4th place is Mike Ross. No, I'm kidding. My 4th place is Snake Eyes.
Okay, yeah.
So that was he was struggling between 4th and 5th, and unfortunately, just because I know how much he affects Shin, I just kind of gave him the little bit edge. It's kind of unfair because that's a direct relation, but whatever. Look, Snake
all
Eyes.
arbitrary anyway.
Snake Eyes is just the damn scariest person. Like, I always say that the one thing that makes Snake Eyes amazing to me is that he's playing a character like Zangief, who's as straightforward as you can possibly get, right? Like, let me get into you and let me SPD you. We've both played Zangief a lot. We know how Zangief plays, and yet when he lands a spinning pile driver, it always surprises me. It always catches me off guard. I'm always like, what the hell? You know, he's just on some crazy level right now, and I just feel like his run right now, I mean, there's no way he should have been 10-8 against Peppadai.
Oh, that matchup's not good.
Yeah, that matchup
sucks.
And the way Peppadai was playing was ridiculous. He was playing that match flawlessly, and have Snake Eyes even be that close is ridiculous. So, I mean, I bring that up because people are like, "Where's Peppadai?" You know, and why is Snake? You know, Snake Eyes. I just think he's so like. He terrifies me when I watch him play. I mean, it doesn't really terrify me because I'm rooting for him because I love Snake Eyes so much. But dude, if I was one of those people who like wanted Snake Eyes to lose really badly, I would be so frustrated. You know, and he wins every week at Wednesday night fights. And I mean, for the people who aren't there, it's like everyone you talk to, they're always just like, oh, Snake Eyes is on my side of the bracket. Snake Eyes. And then the other thing they do is everyone roots for him to lose. Oh yeah. They all want him to lose so badly. So yeah. So Dragon Eyes gets 4th in my book. So
like I said, if it were just on talent, and I like your criteria. If these are all in a tournament, who am I most scared of? I think that's an interesting criteria. If I were to have done it like that, definitely I would have had him in top 4, maybe top 3.
Okay.
So, he is extremely, extremely good. My 3rd place is Daigo.
Okay.
And it's... So I feel like he's the best when it comes to closed tournaments or long sets.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like anybody...
Free.
I would bet on him against everybody in the world.
Free, yeah.
For sure. But at the same time, he is inconsistent in open tournaments. And it's, you know... You brought up a couple of them, but he got 49th at Evo, which is the lowest of anybody on this list, and the lowest of anybody on your list, too. And, you know, he lost at, what was that, the TGS thing? I mean, you know, he has these successes, but then it's just a little bit, like...
right, spotty, a little more spotty.
Yeah. So, and I'm not one of those guys who thinks that a long set necessarily proves the better player better than a shorter 2 out of 3 does. They're just different. They just test different things.
Yeah.
Some players are much better in 2 out of 3. Some players are much better in a 1st to 10. That's how it is. Different people. So I feel like Daigo is better at that. And when it comes to like Capcom Cup, I mean, I would maybe take the field over Daigo, but it'd be like really close.
It'd be hard.
I don't know that I'd bet either way because he's gonna be so good. But those like little moments of like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
lose? Like, John Choi
I mean,
beat you?
I think one of the other things that also kind of made me put Daigo a little bit down was when he did play Filipino champ. He easily could have ran to Yun, but his mindset's a little different now. He's like, I really want to win with this character. I want to be entertaining to the audience. So I think that kind of affected my decision a little bit as well. So, yeah. Well, for me, for third place, I have Infiltration. Because, like you said, outside of Evo, he's won everything he's been to.
Yeah.
And not only that, but his character variety is beyond everybody else in this list, I feel like. And I think that gives him such a leg up. Like, when PR Rog figured him out at Evo, he switched to Hakan and beat PR Rog, right? Not a lot of other players can do that, right?
Sure.
So, for example, like Xian, right? He can't beat Zangief, and he doesn't really have a good character to fight against him. I don't think there's a single character that could give Infiltration problems with the giant mass of characters that he has. And he happens to also be good at Akuma, who is an amazing character in the game. Yeah. So, even though he's been quieter this year, I still think he's one of the best. So I have him at top 3. I have him in top 3.
I think that makes sense. But when it comes to the first places that he got, some of those are really good against really good comp, and some of them were a little bit smaller.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if it's
it's
not quite the same. So second place I have Bonchan. So Bonchan has had this ridiculous year where he seems to have gotten second at everything except for once where he did get first place. In his last 5 majors, he's got second 4 times and won once. That's about as close as you can possibly get, right? About as close.
Yeah.
But very, very close to as good as you can get. It's just, he's so consistent. He's so good. Everything about his play is ridiculous. I love how he forces situations and how he makes reads.
Yeah.
His spacing game is amazing. His defense, amazing. Just everything about him is so good. I think that if it were just on talent, I might have him in the same position.
Okay. Cool. My number 2, shockingly, is Luffy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I actually have him at number 2.
Okay.
I don't quite have him at number 1.
Okay.
And, I'm going to say this and people are going to get so mad at me.
Okay.
But if he had the same results that he had and was playing constantly in Japan, I would put him at number 1.
Yeah?
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, Europe is completely fantastic at this game.
He blew up Japan when it came to Evo.
Oh, yeah.
He marched through everybody.
Yeah. But like I said, there was just a couple of situations where I felt like I said, I feel like if he fought Fudo would have won. Right?
I think he would have. I think Luffy would have won.
You don't really think so? Yeah. Okay. Dude,
I like the matchup as well.
I just think Fudo's, like, the way that Fudo beat Snake Eyes was just, like,
that
was so heartbreaking.
One of the best performances I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, because it was just like, oh my god.
It looked impossible.
Yeah, it looked impossible. So, but I hate saying it that way.
Europe is so good.
No, Europe is in fact, I think Europe might be better than the States.
I think it might be.
And in fact, I have 2 players from Europe. Both of us have 2 players from Europe and only 1 player from North Carolina.
Which is reasonable, I think.
Yeah, from the States.
Yeah.
So I do think Europe is better than the States is, but I don't know. It's just a lot of the tournaments that he won were smaller events. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite there yet for Luffy, but I struggled on the number 1 and number 2 so badly. It was really hard for me to pick who was number 1. And I don't know, he just got edged out. So,
okay, alright, well, my number 1 is Luffy. If you're going by results, I don't know how you can not have that. I don't know how. Which is what I was doing.
For sure. Yeah.
So he's won 6 of his last 7 Ultra SF4 majors. One of them was Evo, obviously, where he had this crazy streak of blowing up everybody. He's only lost to 2 people in Ultra SF4 since July started. That is to say, since right before Evo. One of them is Shin. The other one is Valmaster.
Right.
Valmaster beat him twice in one tournament. Valmaster ended up winning that tournament. But other than that, everybody he's beaten. Nobody else has that kind of thing. Regardless of where you play. Okay.
Infiltration's the closest, right?
That's the closest. But he didn't win Evo.
Okay? For sure.
Like Snake Eyes, right? In the States, he doesn't win everything. He hasn't. He didn't win his hometown major. When it comes to or was that NorCal? Which is the one he didn't win? He didn't win SoCal.
I don't think he won.
No, it was West Coast. I'm thinking of West Coast Warzone.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of West Coast Warzone. Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't win that. So, I mean, that's it for me. Luffy's the best, I think.
Yeah, for me, my number one is Bonchan.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, look at all the second places he got or whatever like that. But, dude, the guy, the face of the competition that he faces, I just feel like is on a different level than everybody else. And just his consistency and just how ridiculous that he plays. And I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I kind of rated on who I'm kind of scared of in a lot of ways. And I don't know. There's just something about the way Bonchan plays is just super solid. Like, I mean, his reads are on point. He makes Sagat look ridiculously fast. And and so
he's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm the most scared of Bonchan out of like all the players, honestly. Like honestly, I would put Fudo up there if he had just been to more events. Because like I said, I don't know why I'm terrified of Fudo. I don't know why.
How could you not be?
That guy scares me. But but yeah, I have Bonchan with number one. So because he's too consistent. He's too consistent in the face of the most ridiculous competition to get even second place at those events all the time. To me,
it's very impressive.
And especially because some of those events were single elimination events, you know, which is where things go completely crazy, you know what I mean? And he'll still finish really high. So, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't, like I said, for me, it was Luffy and Bonchan, like they were just having the most epic struggle. And eventually I was like, I have to decide. And my brain ended with Bonchan on top. So,
all right.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
People are asking, where's Pepe Dai? Maybe they're serious. I don't know. Pepe Dai for me is the same kind of thing as like Fudo. I didn't have Fudo on this list because he hasn't been to enough things. That's it. I mean, I feel like he is super talented. Like talking about Pepe Dai, very very talented, very very good. Maybe he's top 10 talent wise. Hard to say, but in terms of results, it's just not there. Maybe if he continues to travel. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
It would be great. I'd love it. I'm really impressed by him.
I need more long-term success.
Yeah.
Right. I need more long-term success because right now he is definitely riding a wave of what the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
He is definitely riding a wave of people not knowing how to fight
that's
Fuerte.
True.
So, I'll give him some time in there. And honestly, God, it killed me not getting... I mean, because a lot of people are asking about this. It killed me not getting Momochi in that top 10.
Yeah, he was just outside for me, too.
Yeah, it killed me not getting Kazunoko in there. But see, Kazunoko, the reason why he didn't make it in there for me is because I feel like his character is scarier than Kazunoko is. Like, Kazunoko with Yun is super scary because Kazunoko fits Yun to a T. But, again, I
don't think he's up there, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's really sad to me that I didn't get Momochi in there. I really wanted Momochi in there, so.
Yeah, Momochi is really, really good. I don't know who else were near for you.
Ricky Ortiz.
Ricky
was really close there because he just did really well at Evo. The only reason why, honestly, one of the main reasons why Ricky didn't quite make it into the list is because she did really bad at the TFC. She got like 17th place.
Right. Okay. Which is a recent thing. It's
which is really recent. Honestly, if she had gotten top 8 in that one, I think Ricky would have made it in my list. But it was just because of that result that she just fell out.
I mean, great at Evo.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I guess. I don't think that I would have had her up there.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I feel pretty solid with the list that I put together. Again, other than Fudo, Momochi. Those are the ones who I feel like I wish this had been a 10-person or 12-person list. Yeah,
Momochi, Nemo, I felt kind of bad about, but like I said, I just don't know if Nemo takes the game as seriously, you know. And like I said, Ricky was up there as well.
Yeah.
I thought about Kazunoko because he's just done well, but again, he's just had really kind of spotty results and stuff like that. Yeah,
I agree.
So.
Yeah, I think it's a little spotty. So.
Yep. There you go. So.
Well, those are the lists that we came up with.
Yeah, and that is, again, this is for the Esports Max. This is Dustin Steiner who puts this together, kind of starting this power rankings thing, which is really kind of cool. And actually, I'm really surprised at how fast a month passes.
Dude, of course.
Yeah, because
Always.
he asked for the rankings at the beginning of October, and I was like, I got plenty of time before he's gonna ask for rankings again, and now I had to turn them in. Like literally, he was hoping for them by the end of Sunday, and I turned them in at like 2 a.m.
Oh, I turned them in today because I wrote my list yesterday and then I forgot to send it in.
Oh really? Oh
He bugged me
okay,
about it today.
okay, yeah.
Anyway, that should be coming out soon on Esports Max. I really like the idea.
Yeah, a lot of other people involved in that list. Sometimes they're busy, so they can't make it. Like, I know Combo Fiend was in the first month. He didn't quite get in the second one. But, you know, a lot of other people involved in that as well. So it's not just our rankings, obviously. Yeah. It's going to be a bunch of people tallied together. First place gets 10 points. Second place gets 9 points, and on and on and on. You add them all up, arrange them by totals, and there you go. That's your world rankings. So, yeah.
It's a cool idea. I'm happy to be part of it.
Cool.
Well, anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing that I can think about. I mean, we joked that we were going to take fewer questions, but it always feels like we...
Well, I mean, the first, 20 minutes was some technical difficulties.
Fair enough.
So.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
It's not the Tuesday show without any technical difficulties. The T in Tuesday stands for technical difficulties.
Still working on it, though. You know, like James was saying, he just upped some of the stuff recently.
Dude, Cool Cat, you don't even know. I was one of the people who wrote all my essays 2 days before they were due, 1 day before they were due.
I was gonna say 2 days. You plan ahead then.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because seriously, every time I got to the point where I would try writing it early, the lack of stress would make it really hard for me to write. I couldn't write my good stuff until I was pressed for it. Mm-hmm. It's really I am the worst procrastinator.
I did the same thing. I more than one time turned in something that was due at 12 a.m. via email at 11:59, or that happened quite a few times. So I'm not the best at that either.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. James and I are working on a secret project that we can't tell you guys about.
Yeah, for not too much longer.
You'll find out pretty soon. It's going to be cool. Looking forward to it coming out. Look forward to that. And that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.